Yes, it is April, and one of the things that distinguish April, it is Youth Savings Month. Got two great guests in studio to talk about this from Peninsula Credit Union, CEO Jim Morrell and Chris Raymond from Choice High School. Morning, gang.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you guys doing?
Doing great.
Pretty good.
Good. Thanks for coming on and talking about this Youth Savings Month. And so, Jim, let's start with you. Give us a little bit of a primer on what the thoughts are in Youth Savings Month, what you want to get across, and then we'll bring Chris in.
Sure. Yeah. So it's a month that we emphasize every year to help encourage teaching young folks how to save money and the importance of that. It's one of those things where if you begin to start a habit early in life, then hopefully it sticks with you. It's sort of like brushing your teeth, right? So if you start brushing your teeth when you're young, hopefully you continue. The reality of it is that as adults, there's 72% of Americans that have less than $1,000 in savings, or excuse me, 60%, and the other 40% don't have any money for savings at all. So if there's an emergency that happens, or they need some cash right away, 40% of Americans don't have that. So our emphasis is, how do we develop habits, and how do we encourage and entice youth to save money? So.
I know in the past you at Peninsula Credit Union have had programs, the Safe Spend and Give. You had like a 3 piggy bank thing there. Are those the same types of things that then just get evolved into the high school, or?
Well, yes, that's part of it. We do have programs, the Save, Spend, and Give. So the thought process there that if you can teach kids at a young age, a friend of mine has young boys, and they said for every dollar you save, think about saving, a third of that, spending a third of that, and giving a third of that to others. We have a Scotty Saver youth program for kids that are 0 to 12 years old. And the thought process there is make a small deposit every month, just a couple dollars, get a Scotty buck from us. And after you accumulate some Scotty bucks, you can reach in the doghouse and get a prize,
nice.
Up to what we have is a little fluffy black dog, stuffed animal named Penny, and we have a white one named Cash. So it's just that, getting kids excited about that. And then what we've done over the last couple of years is introduce a program both at Shelton High School and at Choice High School called Ever5 Financial. And that program is one that Chris has been engaged with in helping to teach more about savings, helping get the youth prepared for their adult life and living on their own.
That's so important.
It really is.
So you give kids money anymore, and they go spend every dime.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's awesome.
Well, Chris, tell me a little bit about the program. What you learn in there? What were some kind of eye-opening things that you took away from it?
Well, a lot of the stuff that I'm actually learning in there right now is like Jim has said, and how to save money, and that is, I think, really important to the youth because, I always feel like whenever I get money, I should put at least like 10 to 20 bucks away. I try to, but
it's
that
hard.
goes.
It's hard. You got to work at it all the time. It's always working on those things.
And I'm also learning how to do my taxes. Before that, I never really knew how to do anything like that, and I always wondered where I would go for that kind of information if I'd have to turn around and ask my parents all the time. But now I'm learning how to do my 1040 and my W-2 and everything like that, and it's really cool because I think that kids should get started at a younger age with that kind of stuff so that they know how to do it and they can start progressing at a quicker pace.
We talk about that stuff all the time.
All the time.
When are the schools teaching kind of these
I know.
skills?
There should be class, but
does it include like balancing checkbooks and like the whole gambit of financial literacy as it is?
Yeah, it shows all that kind of stuff and how to get into getting credit cards and debit cards, how to manage them, how to do all sorts of stuff with that. It's really cool.
That is a good program.
That is good.
Ever5 Financial, or sometimes we refer to it as MoneyWise at Shelton High. It's different modules, so it's self-guided, self-paced. It's interactive for the kids that are taking. I think that's the way it works, right, Chris? So
there's about 9 modules in it. I'm on the 7th one.
Oh, so you're almost out of there. So that is a pretty cool deal. Is it a textbook-based learning, or you watch videos on economics, or how does it all play out?
Yeah, pretty much I just watch the videos, and then it asks me a few questions about what the videos just explained to me, and then at the end of the whole segment, I take a final quiz, and then I if I pass that, I go to the next one, and if not, I have to retake it. But usually I pass.
Oh, very good. That's good. We talked just a second ago about how this is an ongoing process, and people throughout their whole lives realize the need to put some savings away each month, and sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But if you got this, you feel like if you have this base of knowledge now, you're able to work to get it all completed every month as the bills come in and the bills go out. But at least you have got some sense of where your money goes every month. You work on budgeting and all that stuff too?
Yeah, everything like that. Anything that to do with money handling, money saving, anything. That's what it's showing me, and it's awesome.
That's so
Insurance, I
important.
think, too.
Yeah, insurance,
Oh,
home and
wow.
auto insurance. It's showing me how to do all that, and showing me how to file to go get it, and keep it, and everything with that. It's really awesome.
Opening your eyes to the financial worlds, is this something that maybe in the future you would look into as a potential career path, now that you kind of get a better understanding of money and numbers and all that stuff?
Yeah, honestly, because when I was younger, I always thought that this would be a lot more complicated, but now that I'm really starting to see it, it's making a lot more sense than it used to, and I think I could honestly go into something like that.
Oh,
Jim, pick up on that, because we do not talk about money in this society. It is an uncomfortable conversation, even between spouses. But how do you start breaking those walls down? How do you start having those conversations so you do come away with some good information?
Sure. Yeah, it's another fact that 72% of adults find it really difficult to talk about finances, both with each other as well as with their kids. And a large part of that comes because a lot of us have struggled at some point with our own finances, and it's not comfortable to talk about that or to be the role model if you've had those own challenges in your life. And so really the best way that we find to break that down is to begin to develop trust and to understand what people are interested in, and to find out, just make things really simple. We have 100% of our staff at Peninsula Credit Union this year are now certified community financial counselors. So they're trained, and they have a toolkit with budgeting tools, with tips on how to go buy a car, to help build that confidence. But it really starts with what that individual's needs are. If they're trying to consolidate their debt, or if they're trying to save money for a future plan, maybe a home project or a new car, we can help organize their finances and work with them in doing that. Much like what Chris is learning, through the EverFi Financial Program and those modules, we do that day to day in our branches, and we actually even have a staff member that works outside of our branches, because a lot of people are also intimidated of coming into a financial institution, the hallowed halls where they've been declined or told that they aren't worthy because of a credit score. We help people figure out what the steps are that they can take in order to rebuild that credit.
Was this a
Nice.
class, Chris, or was this a kind of an extracurricular that you heard about and signed up for?
This was a class that I'm taking, all part of Don's class, Money Talks, where he's just showing me anything to do with banking and financing.
John Wielander?
Yeah, Don Wielander.
Ah, he's a great guy.
He is. See, I love the guy.
Yeah, that's a cool one. So you'd encourage your fellow classmates or parents
Oh.
listening to get their kids involved
I'd
in this?
encourage so many people to get involved with the CAP 21 program. It is amazing. It has showed me something that school hasn't showed me in 5 years, and I think that it is incredible what they're trying to show kids and what they're trying to do, because it's what kids actually need in the real world, is what I think.
Yeah, cool.
Very
That's a
smart.
great deal there.
Yeah, definitely.
Jim Morrell and Chris Raymond here talking Youth Savings Month on iFiber 1 News Radio. It's 8:18. Thank you so much for coming on, guys.
Thank you
Thank
both.
you.
It's good to see you here.